Welcome Taurus to your in-depth monthly horoscope for October 2023 for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you some standout details to look out for, but please stay with me. I will explore in much greater detail all the ins and outs, particularly relevant to your sign. Now, first up, we do need to look at your ruler, Venus. That's forging a delicious link to Mars in week 1, but then Venus moves into your 5th house. Venus in the 5th house can be very glamorous, very much in tune with your romantic or social needs, even if technically Venus in Virgo is not at its best. That happens on the 9th. But also, we have Mars moving into your opposite sign on the 12th. We have a solar eclipse on the 14th, which can really do wonders for your physical vitality over the following 6 months. But then we have Mercury catching up with Mars, followed by the Sun on the 23rd, as your relationship sector really comes to life as this month draws to a close. But that brings us to the eclipse of the 28th in your sign. Now, this is the last of the series between the signs of Taurus and Scorpio. It's had a big impact on all of our collective resources over the last year and a half, year and 3/4. But you have an opportunity with Mercury and Jupiter impacting on this particular lunar eclipse to really gain in a very positive way around some of your interactions. I'd just like to share a very exciting opportunity with you. If you order your year 2024 personal horoscope forecast now, based on your personal birth data, I'll prepare for you the rest of year 2023 free of charge. Plus, in my special 30% off package, you can get your character analysis report, your life roadmap. This will give you searing insights into the patterns that have played out in your life so far, but give you a much more intimate understanding of how to make the most of these. Please see beneath this video for more. And finally, if you've yet to watch your year 2024 zodiac forecast, please see the link below where you can do so for free. So Taurus, as you come into October, the Sun and Mars are in house 6. House 6 is a very conscientious part of the zodiac, very much to do with the details, working hard and trying to create tangible results. Now, because Mercury has been in a very creative part of your situation ever since the end of July, perhaps through its retrograde, some of the things that you wanted to achieve proved to be a bit elusive because somehow or another nothing really quite gained traction. Well, I feel now they can, and that can be very satisfying, particularly with Venus and Mars combining so well. And if you are making changes to your home, for example, with Venus in the 4th house and Mars giving you the drive to attend to those do-it-yourself jobs or repainting or perhaps remodeling the space you live in, then you can see progress. It's just that Mars from the 3rd to the 12th is conflicted by Pluto, which in actual fact is in a part of your situation that doesn't want any responsibilities at all. It wants to be really free to do what it wants. So if you do feel yourself compelled to provide some support or assistance to others, that really could be quite frustrating, and it could cause quite a lot of tension through the first third of this month. The good news romantically, however, is that Black Moon Lilith, the influence that's very much to do with our desires that we don't necessarily talk about, that's been in a very sheltered location for the last 9 months, and it moves into a much more outgoing one. It's just that hosted in the sign of Virgo, it can be much more concerned with clean sheets than getting passionate within them. But certainly it's something that you can gain from over the next 9 months. Also, on the 5th, Mercury is moving out of Virgo and into the sign of listening, which is Libra. But that's going to again help you to think about and grapple with the details. But Venus, your ruler, which has been in the sign of Leo for 4 long months since June the 5th, emerges into your 5th house to replace Mercury on the 9th. And this really can be very lovely for you. This is going to give you much more confidence to express your attractiveness, and it could see you thinking about some kind of glamorous makeover. But I have to say, if there is a romantic relationship that you're in, or even a friendship, where you constantly feel somehow or another criticised or limited by the other person's energy, the fact that Venus goes almost immediately opposite by the 10th, the energies of Saturn, it could be a point where you really decide whether you want to go forwards with this involvement or not. Fortunately, on the 11th, Pluto ends a long retrograde which began on the 1st of May, when at that time it was still in the sign of Aquarius. On the 11th of June, it inverted back into that very adventurous part of your situation, which has been so amazingly important to expand your knowledge since 2008. But then this month sees the relationship dimension really start to take shape, and that sees Mars move into your 7th house on the 12th. If there are boundaries that you really need to reinforce, this is going to give you a lot of help to do so. And perhaps this is all the fallout from the tension between Venus and its opposition with Saturn. If you feel someone's not listening to the sacrifices you've made or how hard you've worked, now you could be saying, this is what I expect, and you could find yourself being much more robust about that. But on the 14th, we have a solar eclipse. And it's the first of a new series in the sign of Libra and going across the axis with Aries. Now for you, Libra energy is very much about your health, well-being, life organization, anything to do with your work, and feeling that you're living your existence in as virtuous way as possible. But this is in a quincunx with Uranus in your sign. So as much as you may be asked over the following 6 months to make certain sacrifices or provide support in certain situations, you could feel conflicted if it does in some way dilute your sense of independence, which you've worked so hard to gain with Uranus's help since 2019 in the March. Now from the 17th through to the 23rd, the Sun and Mercury go into a square with Pluto. Now we've already had Mars in that right angle from the 3rd to the 12th, so you get another repetition of the same kind of energy. And because the solar eclipse is asking you to be more self-sacrificing, just at this point Pluto's coming along and saying, are you sure? So it's about power essentially. It can be about transformation. Yes, you may clean up some part of your act in terms to being fitter, stronger, more organised, but what you don't want to do is pulverise your passion with your pragmatism. So there could be some choices around the start of week 3 in that regard. But that said, there is going to be a conjunction between the Sun and also Mercury, which becomes exact on the 20th in a cazimi. And that's really saying to you that if you do need to cut through and let someone know the precise details and thinking of what you're wanting them to hear, the chances are you can do it with aplomb. But the 22nd sees Mercury join with Mars in your 7th house. Mercury here is a lot less brittle. It's able to actually be a bit more dispassionate about different people's ideas. The 23rd sees the Sun make its way into your 7th house of relating, and that's really, really exciting. So you can see a relationship theme is really taking shape at this part of the month. But also in the last week of October, Mercury and Mars are going to be side by side in and that becomes exact on the 29th. And this is in the part of your situation to do with sharing ideas, asserting your knowledge, but also if you're wanting to bring an extra level of excitement into your love life, this gives you a lot of encouragement to speak out and say what you need. So also Mercury is going to be in an opposition with Jupiter, so that's a very, very exciting aspect, and that is going to be exact on the 29th, so it means it's threaded through the lunar eclipse in your sign of the 28th. So that's a very buoyant combination. When Mercury and Jupiter are opposite, it may see us promise more than we can realistically deliver. But because of them being in an earth sign, in the case of Jupiter, and Mercury being in the deep and penetrative Scorpio, I think it's more grounded. So I think that this is your opportunity really to showcase your individual needs. But I feel if you're not being heard in a relationship matter, you will assert yourself very plainly too. So this collection of energy towards the end of this month is incredibly intense, but very dynamic. It could bring someone new into your life completely, but it could also see you push back against someone who hasn't been hearing where you've been coming from for some while. It could lead to a big shift in the dynamics between you. I feel that you will not stay unheard. That's the message as you get to the end of this month. But also it means that if you're wanting to have greater company, greater acknowledgement, greater collaboration with others, you're going to do everything in your power to achieve that as this month comes to a close. Please remember to check out your year 2024 in-depth, deep dive Taurus video by clicking on the link beneath this video. But for now, thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, share or subscribe.